Today on RMU-Live, we'll be talking about the thousands of protesters across the country participating and the North Athletic Complex for Robert Morris is now being built and should be done by the beginning of the next school year. And North Korean leader Kim Jong-un's half-brother was murdered this week, all on today's edition of RMU-Live. Welcome back to RMU Live for Friday, February 17th, 2017. I am Rashad Christian.
And I'm Cassidy Walters. Here's what's happening now. Pittsburgh police have set up a perimeter around the Amtrak station in downtown, and the bomb squad has been called to investigate an unattended vehicle. Traffic is being detoured around the area of Liberty Avenue and 11th Street.
In light of the recently proposed immigration bans by President Donald Trump, immigrants across the United States stayed home from work and school to prove just how vital they are to everyday American life. These protests were planned and executed in large cities such as Philadelphia, Boston, Washington, D.C., Chicago, and New York City. One protester, Eric Martinez, said, "I am a dreamer. I was brought here by my family when I was very young. I went to school. I'm educated, and not every Mexican, like he says, is a criminal. People truly are standing for what they believe in."
A teenager was found guilty on Thursday of third-degree murder after being accused of shooting another teen in the face and then posting a selfie with a dying boy. Maxwell Morton, who is now 18, was accused of killing 16-year-old Ryan Mangan in February of 2015. Prosecutors were seeking a first-degree murder conviction, but with the third-degree murder charge, Morton can only be sentenced to a maximum of 40 years in prison. On Thursday, a man from Penn Hills pleaded guilty of killing a woman in January of 2016 after she refused his advance at a bar. Charles McKinney pleaded guilty to third-degree murder, resisting arrest, and fleeing and eluding arrest after he shot and killed Janice Jackson Talton outside of Cliff's Bar. In exchange for his plea, McKinney was sentenced to 20 to 40 years in prison and 3 years of probation.
3 students from Allegheny Valley School have contracted the Legionella virus. The virus was initially discovered in September of last year, and since then, the faucets at the school have been tested. The school has been working closely with the health department, but no solution has been successful. The students will drink from water bottles until the problem is solved. The Pittsburgh Water and Sewer Authority has discovered a large leak in their system. The leak is said to be in the water main connecting the Aspinwall Treatment Center to the Lanford Reservoir. While there are estimated to be 10,000 gallons of water gushing into the sewers and eventually into the Allegheny River, officials say the service has not been affected.
Pittsburgh public schools are being questioned by parents and taxpayers regarding why they continue to spend thousands of dollars for public relations services each month. Most parents believe the school board should find better ways to spend its money. The school district hired a private PR firm to directly work with parents and students on many of the initiatives and new programs set up by the new superintendent, Dr. Anthony Hamlet.
Charges have been filed against star New York Jets cornerback and Aliquippa native Darrelle Revis. This comes after Revis confronted 2 men that were recording him with their phones, after which he knocked them unconscious. The 31-year-old is now facing 2 counts of assault charges. The new rec center being built on campus is the talk of the town, so I went around to speak with RMU students to gauge their reactions on the new facility. Students here at Robert Morris have been receiving emails recently about a new rec center that is now under construction, as you can see by the sign behind me. I walked around today to gauge their interest in the new rec center. Construction for the new rec center started last month on January 9th. The once open basketball and tennis courts are now considered restricted areas and won't be open to the public until the rec center is finished being built.
I'm a senior and I plan to come back and use it.
My friends, we like to play hockey up at the courts, so we're hoping that we heard there was going to be a hockey court up there, so we're going to try to use that as much as we can. We're excited for it, but I mean, we're going to try to get there as much as we can.
It would be cool if we had a pool because we had a pool, but they got rid of it.
The new rec center comes with a $125 tuition raise for residents and $60 for commuters per semester.
I think they should probably come up with another way because not everyone is going to be able to use it or want to use it. So to make everyone pay for it that way, I feel like is kind of unfair, but you know.
There could be another way that they could cover costs, but I mean, the money does have to come from somewhere, and a lot of times it just goes right to tuition. It comes from the students, unfortunately.
I don't think it's that big of a deal compared to what we already pay.
Especially compared to some of the facilities like at Jefferson, like even administratively, like having rooms to do meetings, whatever, having room to do this, that, and the other thing, I think would definitely be worth it.
It's not from us. That's stupid. Half of us don't even want it. We didn't vote on it.
The rec center will include a basketball court, a fully functioning gym, and much more. I am Rashad Christian, RMU-TV. The facility is scheduled to be finished just in time for students to start the semester looking at something new. The gender pay gaps are getting smaller in Pittsburgh area nonprofits. Female nonprofit executives are now earning 81 cents for every $1 their male counterparts make. While there is a considerably large gap, noticeable progress is being made.
RMU reporter Greg Sutton recently visited the annual RMU Condom Carnival. Now for a look into what the carnival has to offer.
Hi, I'm Greg Sutton outside of John Jay Center, where they're holding the annual Condom Carnival, which is an event to help raise awareness for HIV and other STDs.
For this event today, we went out, we contacted Pittsburgh AIDS testing, and from last year's events, put together, made it bigger, better for the whole campus to enjoy.
They all have a lot of questions. The girls that come over, the IUDs, it just with that, the condoms, everything is. The weight today and the sex and stuff, they just really need to be aware and ask questions. I wish they did it on a bigger scale so that even younger kids, they're aware, because it's happening way too young with kids now that they shouldn't be knowing the things they know, but they do. And they have they are not aware of what is out there to use for precaution, and it's just a better thing, I think.
Because I wanted it to be more of a women component too, because condoms can seem masculine, and
Yes, I try to participate in these whenever I can. Seems like we got a pretty good show out, considering they told us that we didn't get this many people last year, so it's a pretty good turnout.
I'm Greg Sutton, reporter for RMU-TV.
The Condom Carnival is an annual event at RMU. Make sure to visit the carnival next year and help raise awareness for HIV and other STDs. Be sure to check out our other shows, RMU-Live on Mondays and Fridays at 1 p.m., Sports Talk in the Berg at 6:30 p.m., and Colonial Sports Center at 9:30 p.m.
Coming up on RMU-Live, we'll talk about a new continent that's getting closer to being recognized.
And how Kim Jong-un's brother was killed. We'll be right back.
Did you know parking over tall, dry grass can spark a wildfire?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Yeah, and people take it.
What's the word after it?
Carfentanil? Yeah.
That was my word.
Adventure can be found anywhere, but the best place to start is in the forest.
I spy something beginning with S.
Snow?
No.
Snow-covered trees?
Nothing to do with snow.
Head outside to discover incredible animals and beautiful plants that come together to create an unforgettable adventure.
Wow.
So grab your loved ones.
Don't even.
And explore a world of possibilities.
Come on, this way.
Visit discovertheforest.org to find the closest forest or park to you.
China has added elephant tranquilizer, carfentanil, and several other opioids to its controlled substances list. The ban closed any loopholes that may allow the drug to be used as a chemical weapon. The U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration called China's move a game changer, as they said it's likely to reduce the surge of overdoses and deaths among unsuspecting users. The ban is to be in effect on March 1st.
Ex-White House official Michael Flynn started off this week as President Trump's advisor, but was removed from his job and may face possible legal jeopardy after he inappropriately discussed U.S. sanctions with Russia's ambassador prior to Trump's inauguration. FBI contacted the White House about Flynn's activity, but Flynn denied that he had discussed sanctions with Russia's ambassador. Trump has called the controversy with Russia a scam unfairly perpetrated by the media.
This Monday, Kim Jong-un's half-brother Kim Jong-nam was killed at Kuala Lumpur Airport in Malaysia. According to multiple police reports, a woman with Kim Jong-nam put a cloth doused in some sort of chemical over his face. He then asked for help, and on his way to the hospital was when Jong-nam died. The post-mortem examination of his body is finished, but the details are not yet available to the public.
J.Y. Lee, Samsung's group chief, was arrested on Friday over his alleged role in a corruption scandal rocking the highest levels of power in South Korea. Lee is accused of bribing to gain government favors related to leadership succession at the conglomerate. It was said on Friday that he will be indicted on charges including bribery, embezzlement, perjury, and hiding assets overseas.
Pennsylvania environmental regulators have released their findings about the minuscule earthquakes that happened last April. The magnitude of the quakes ranged from 1.8 to 2.3, which are far too weak to be felt by humans. Fracking, a method of extracting gas and oil from underground, has never been connected to earthquakes in Pennsylvania until now.
A new continent submerged in the southwest Pacific, called Zealandia, is a step closer to becoming recognized, the authors of a new scientific paper claim. Located next to New Zealand, the district is enough to constitute a separate continent, but 94% of it is underwater. Geologists have argued in favor of Zealandia being recognized as its own continent intermittently over the past 20 years.
And for all the news you could possibly need regarding RMU sports and arts and entertainment, be sure to visit rmucenturymedia.com.
Coming up after the break, weather forecaster Eddie Sheehy will be in our weather center with a look at this weekend's forecast.
And our sports anchor Ian Kiss will be breaking down Sidney Crosby's historic evening when we come back from the break.
I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that! That's disgusting! Oh, poop already! You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
You know what, guys? There's a lot of tree branches and dry brush over here. We should probably move the bonfire over there.
I'm guessing Smokey liked that idea.
Well, Thomas, you've got pre-diabetes. But with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon, too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have pre-diabetes. Big time.
Look at you. You're at the top of your game. You're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Yeah, I saw that coming. That will throw you off track. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Hello everyone and welcome to another installment of Quick Flicks on RMU-TV. Now it was late last December, right before Christmas, a movie starring Chris Pratt and Jennifer Lawrence hit theaters. It was a sci-fi epic called Passengers, and it was highly anticipated up to its release. But when it finally came out, it in a lot of ways was a dud. It was panned by critics, it barely made double what its cost was at the box office, and people all around kind of forgotten about it. Now, some 2 months later, no one talks about Passengers at all, and that intrigues me a great deal because I didn't find Passengers to be nearly as hollow or nearly as tedious as everyone else seemed to. A cross between Gravity, Castaway, and The Martian, Passengers comes with a simplistic yet catchy story. Chris Pratt and Jennifer Lawrence are aboard the starship Avalon, on their way to a new planet called Homestead 2, when something on the ship goes catastrophically wrong. The pair are stranded alone and awake, some 90 years too early, facing the grim reality that with no way to get back to sleep, their trip across space has just become a death sentence. A movie like this is tough to pull off for a number of reasons. Paramount is the fact that a movie in this style demands a lot from its leads. Pratt and Lawrence are the sole focus of this film, and as a result, it's their performances that need to keep this dramatic CGI-fueled ship afloat. Their challenge, conveying to the audience that they are experiencing something that literally no human in history has ever gone through. In the end, I'd rate their performance as empathetically credible. With a runtime at nearly 2 hours, viewers themselves may begin to feel claustrophobic in this redundantly white and empty spaceship. But time and time again, it's the performance and on-screen romance between the film's two stars that keep a pulse throughout. Right behind the performances, the next big thing Passengers has going for it are the special effects. Though at this point, I think it is worth saying that any movie that dares to venture into space better come with some bang-up scenes of the spectacle that is our universe. All in all, I'd be remiss if I didn't tell you that I enjoyed Passengers greatly. I know for a lot of critics, the straw that broke the camel's back was the ending of the movie. I won't ruin it for you here, but I will say that I found the ending to be fitting for the whole movie. And the charming performances between two of Hollywood's most popular actors, Jennifer Lawrence and Chris Pratt, really makes this movie a standout for me. All in all, I'm giving it 4 out of 5 stars. It's definitely something that you need to be checking out when it inevitably comes out on Blu-ray, DVD, and is available to rent. Now, unfortunately, that is all the time we have here on Quick Flicks. I'll see you next time with another movie review.
It was a big night for the Pittsburgh Penguins as they won 2 straight games over teams north of the border, taking down the Winnipeg Jets Thursday evening. Evgeny Malkin got the Pens on the board, first with his 24th goal of the season, 59 seconds into the game. Chris Kunitz gave the Colonials a 2-0 lead minutes later, but the focus turned to Sidney Crosby, who set him up and earned his 1,000th career point on the assist. An historic moment in front of the Pittsburgh crowd at PPG Paints Arena, and congratulations to number 87th, the 12th fastest NHL player to reach that milestone. The Jets scored 3 straight goals to take the lead in the third period, but Phil Kessel found the back of the net a little over halfway through the third period to send the game to overtime. It was the man of the night, the 1,000-point man, that ended the game in overtime, giving his team the 4-3 lead. I'm Ian Kiss, and out to the very talented Eddie Sheehy in our Weather Center.
Thank you, Ian. For what it's worth, I think you're very talented as well. Now, taking a look here at this temperature today, 49 degrees outside right now. Nice warm temperatures, better than the snow and the cold that we've seen over the past few days and over the weekend. We're going to have a low of 37 today, but that low we've pretty much already passed. We're going to be sticking in the 40s mostly. Now, taking a look here outside at our beautiful campus, sunny. Lots of sun coming through, partly cloudy in some areas, depending on where you look in the sky. Not too bad. Now switching over to our weather map. Look at this weather map. You're not looking at the weather map, but it's clear. There's no snow, there's no rain, nothing coming. Tomorrow we're looking at a temperature of 62 degrees, so we're going to get even higher. And look at this, our low right here of 45 is about what our high temperature is today, so there's a warming trend that's coming. And looking into the 5-day, this warming trend is just going to keep going. Here on Monday, 59 and 34 is your low on Sunday. Partly cloudy. This partly cloudy is going to be a theme throughout the week. Monday, 56 and 37. Tuesday, 64. That's going to be a high temperature throughout this week. 49 is the low, moving into Wednesday and Thursday. High of 59 and lows in the 40s. And that is a temperature that we're going to be seeing throughout the rest of this spring. Cassidy and Rashad, back to you guys.
That's all we have for RMU Live.
We'll see you next week.